Hello, welcome to the channel and welcome to another episode of Badasschicks episode 5. Today we're going to talk about a unique woman. She truly was influential in different areas of the arts in the 1980s. Her name is Grace Beverly Jones, OJ. And we're going to see, can we find anyone in today's era that resembles Grace Jones in terms of style, in terms of demeanor, character and integrity. So, let's look at our first clip, which is James Bond, A View to a Kill. The first impression you get when you see that scene is style. Yes, the martial arts perhaps didn't come off too authentic, but it didn't matter. Now, let's look at our next clip. Conan the Destroyer.
Yeah! Don't kill her.
As we can see, Grace is adorned with beautiful tone. Her expressions from any angle is quite unique. Her demeanor, she carries it as she does in real life. It wasn't common to find someone of that skin tone or darkness to be featured or highlighted. It was only until late in the 90s that she opened the door for other dark models to grace the catwalk. And here in Conan, her personality and her looks was transmuted to film to give it that authentic look. Mazula, the warrior, and she did come across as the warrior. So it was great to be able to see what kind of influence she had in her time. She was perhaps at the height of her career when that film was made. Now let's go on to see in what other areas was she a badass. Now, there's one thing with Grace is you can say what you want to say to her, but be prepared for the consequences and don't turn your back on her. Have a look at this clip.
Good evening to you.
Hello, Russell.
She says that she's just met you.
Don't turn your back to me.
Well,
He's got it.
She says. Are you wearing perfume at this
No,
time?
no, I very seldom do.
There's no
If you turn your back to me one more minute,
I have got to
this
talk
has
to
been
this.
going on too long already.
Well, it's only going to go on about another 6 minutes, and you're going to have another little part of it soon.
Maybe I should go right now.
No,
then.
don't go right now unless you really want to.
Well, don't turn your back on me anymore.
I can't look at you. Now, hold on, just a minute. Just
Move your chair back a bit or something.
Kind of reminds me of Rocky 3. Do you remember this scene?
Don't turn your back on me.
You just didn't know what you was going to get when you came up against Grace. And if you turn your back or disrespected her, then you could expect some consequences or backlash. And so interviewers and broadcasters had to be mindful of how they could contain or appease Grace when interviewing her. Grace always put out a statement. She was a unique in her way of communication, her style, her dress presence, and people didn't really understand her.
I'm overestimated.
By the world at large or by your public?
By everybody, I think, yes.
And for that, I think it's great for an individual to stand out for who they are, what they represent, and not to be afraid to speak your mind. and Grace was one of those. If you've ever browsed online, you'll see many different images of her angular expressions, her pointed shoulders to go with her hairstyle and cheekbones, which almost made her look robotic or unusual or disfigured in a way that you think, is that real? But yeah, it was real. That was just how Grace portrayed herself, apart from the picture where her jaw is touching her knees. But yes, she was truly unique. And her music was also admired. It was perhaps a little far ahead of its time. The music, the backing track, and her image, she just had great composure. So the badass component here, I'm sure it's obvious, it stands out, is style. Style in terms of how she presented herself. It was so unique to give the film an authentic look for the character that she plays. The second component here would be meanness, character. And like that example we saw, that was just one of the interviews that she had where we got to see just how racist she is. Brilliant. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you like the videos, and till next week, peeps, stay tuned.
Ain't no big thing to wait for the bell to ring. Ain't no big thing, the toll of the bell. I go not dictate fare for days. I stroll downtown in the red light.